Great day. It's Amanda, and I wanted to come to you briefly on the topic. And this topic is watch your thoughts. And it's based upon the premise of, in Proverbs it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And really what it does is bring to mind a very, very popular Temptation song, Just My Imagination. And in the song they say it was just my imagination running away with me. And so if we're not careful, that's what will happen. Our imagination will run away. It's very important for us to guard our thoughts, to guard our minds, the things that enter into our spirits. Because, you don't want it to go haywire. You don't want it to go crazy. You can see this a lot in where there are mental health issues. It's really a disease of the mind. It's really a disease of the thoughts. So this is something that everyone goes through at one point or another. There are even cases where people think they're in relationships with people. And the bottom line is they're the only one in a relationship. This is what will happen. Have you ever seen the movie Fatal Attraction? I don't want to get into movies and things like that, even though the character pretty much brought themselves into the situation. The bottom line is it just your imagination, or are you really hearing the voice of the Lord? Is it just what your desires are? Is it just what your wants are? Are you meditating on a particular subject too long? Are you really seeking the voice of the Lord and saying, Lord, is this what you have for me? Because it can just be your imagination. When you walk up on people, what, girl, what you say to me? It's just your imagination. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. It's just your imagination. And so the enemy is very crafty. And when I say the enemy, I'm talking about demonic principalities that want to see you fail. Satan, Lucifer. You got to say, get thee behind me, Satan. Sometimes you got to say, you know what? Let me watch my mind. Let me watch my thoughts. Lord, help me. Keep my mind stayed on thee. And that's why it says he'll keep you in perfect peace if your mind is stayed on thee. It's just your imagination. You're thinking people don't like you, who don't even know who you are. It's just your imagination. Are you allowing a spirit of confusion and strife to enter in? Check your circle, those who have your ear, because it's just your imagination many times. If you don't watch your thoughts, it has the potential to, ultimately destroy your life. If you can focus in on what the Word of God says, and it's not always going to be easy, because faith without works is dead. Yes, it will require, some type of, corresponding action. But the bottom line is you don't want your mind to be jacked up. You don't want your thoughts to be jacked up. It's just your imagination, boo-boo. It's your imagination. So get over the stigma that the world is against you. Yes, there's spiritual warfare. Yeah, there are unforeseen forces coming against us. But you know what? It says in Isaiah 54:17 that no weapon formed against us shall be able to prosper. And every tongue that rises against us in judgment, we condemn it. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. Anybody can complain because it's just your imagination. But what are you doing about the situation? Are you going into your prayer closet and crying out before the Lord? It's just your imagination. Your words frame your world, and it's time to really pull yourself up by the bootstraps and say, you know what, Lord, I don't want my imagination running away with me. I want to be on the right course that you have me. Order my steps, Lord, because he says that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Is it just your imagination? Watch your thoughts. Watch your conversation. When you're talking to your coworkers today, when you're having conversation with your children, taking them to school, is it just your imagination? Is it something you watched on TV? Is there a song lingering in your head? Understand that the Lord said in Jeremiah 29, I know the thoughts I have towards you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. The heart of God is for us to excel in life. The mind of God is for us to go from faith to faith and glory to glory. He wants us blessed to be a blessing. So today, as you go throughout your week and as you go throughout your day and even leading into 2017, ask yourself, is it just my imagination? Am I watching my thoughts? Am I really exemplifying the love of God? Can I work on my attitude? Because it's not always the other person. And even when you're driving, you learn defensive driving, but it could be just your imagination. Focus and ask the Lord to order your steps. Don't give place to that devil, and understand that the Lord has your back. He has given his angels charge over us to keep us in all of our ways. He said, you have not because you ask not. Examine your motives and understand that you don't have to let your imagination run away with you today. You know why? Because it's a new day with new mercy. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But understand, as long as the earth remains, there'll be seed time and harvest. Make sure that you are making the investment in your mind. Make sure that you are studying that word and speaking those things you want to come to fruition, and understand that you have the power to intercept and say, when someone speaks a word over your children or over your life, you know what, I don't agree with that, because I'm not going to let my imagination run away with me, with all due respect. But you know what, it's cool. I still have the love of God in my heart. Guard what you speak over your life, and most importantly, what you allow to enter into your mind. God did everything He's going to do. He's given us all things that pertain to life and to godliness. Watch your thoughts. Until next time, don't let your imagination run away with you. And shalom.